Could the Severne Fox be the best free race board available right now? Well, in today's video, I'm going to run through some of my sessions I had this week here at the surf school, starting with an absolute blinder of a session on the Severne Fox 105 and the 70 NCX. I haven't been on big kit in a while, and I'd almost forgotten how much fun it is just to simply go as fast as you can in a straight line and send it. To me, it kind of feels like it has the best balance of comfort and speed. I'm not in any way a slalom sailor. I don't have the technique or the skills to be the fastest on the water, but it felt super fast to me, and that was down to the Fox doing most of the work. It wasn't even really that windy, ranging from about 18 to 20 knots, but still it just seemed to carry so much speed. I also couldn't quite believe how stable it was. It seemed to just glide effortlessly over the chop, and once I was locked in, well, it just continued picking up speed. It felt as comfortable as using a free wave board, but with the speed of a slalom board, and that's exactly what you want, to go fast in comfort. I'd personally still put this in the advanced windsurf category, purely because of the outboard foot straps, which can get a little bit tricky to get used to, but once you're locked in and you're going, it feels great. I didn't even have the back straps on the most outboard setting, so I might need to shift them out to unlock even more speed. Pairing it up with the NCX 70 made for a great combination. I'd have to say the same thing with the sail too. It just felt so effortless for such a big reward. A really nice balanced sail that has a lot of drive, but equally felt super comfortable and relatively easy to use. So in terms of free race gear, it's got to be up there as one of the top setups to use. If you've tried the Fox or the NCX, let me know in the comments how you feel about this setup. Speaking of gear, I had a lovely evening session on my freestyle gear. For me, freestyle is still my bread and butter. I love getting out on my JP Freestyle 101 and the Severne Freek, and this time I took my 4.8 for a spin. The wind was a bit up and down, but I got a few nice gusts and had a pretty good session. So at the surf school, we have the challenge board, and the way it works is that you have 3 moves on the board. You have a consistent, tried, and new move. Consistent is just a move that you've landed, but you just want to get it more consistent. Tried is a move that you've tried but haven't yet landed, and new is a move that you've not yet tried that's outside of your comfort zone. My 3 moves are Kono, Kulo, and Shaka, so expect plenty of freestyle sessions this summer. The good thing about this is that it's not exclusive to freestyle, it can be anything. So if you were picking 3 for the summer, what would you choose? A new, a tried, and consistent move? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of challenges, I'm continuing my winging journey. Last week, I tried out winging for the first time. I started by using a Duotone Slick 50 and the Viper HD, which was great to grasp the basics of using a wing in a straight line and learning to turn around, but now it was time to step up to something a bit more challenging. It was time to try out foiling. So I set off on the Duotone Slick 60 and the Sky Start 6'7". I found this setup to be a really good starting point, especially because the board was really easy to balance on and the wing was the biggest that I felt comfortable using in the light winds. I felt like any bigger and it would be difficult to hold up, any smaller just wouldn't give me enough power. I was also using a low aspect foil, the 1750, which was the recommended foil for the session. My goal was to get up on the foil, even if it was just for a few seconds. Unfortunately, I was ever so slightly underpowered in 12 to 15 knots, and because I didn't quite yet have the technique, I couldn't get up on the foil, which was somewhat frustrating because I felt like all I needed was just a couple more knots and I think I would have got up. Luckily, I had another chance, and this time the wind was perfect at 15 to 18 knots. So once again, I took out the 60 Slick and the Sky Start with the same goal of trying to get up on the foil. With the extra power, it made it easier to gain speed, and the extra speed made it easier to get up onto the foil, and it wasn't long until I was up and going for a few seconds. The feeling was pretty cool, but I really wanted to try and stay up on the foil and sustain the flight. My biggest problem was having too much weight on my back foot, which meant that I'd just go too high, which stalled the board, and then I'd just come straight back down. So I focused on holding the speed and driving through my front foot, and by the end of the session, I was actually holding the flight. Well, it was good on one side, the other side, not so much. My preferred stance is regular, so going on port, I felt very comfortable, but going on starboard, that was much more challenging. So that's just something I'm gonna have to work on in the upcoming sessions. Big thanks to White Slice for flying the drone, and giving me all the winging tips. If anyone has any tips for wing foiling, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. I'm also really trying to make the best videos I can at the moment, so if there's anything you would really like to see on the channel, then please just let me know in the comments. But thank you to everyone who watches these videos and those of you who have subscribed. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.